welcome to another episode of Chatty Bros with Bekah and Jess.
Well, hello, broads.
Hello,
How are you doing today, broads? I just realized, Bekah, that my arm is covered in stickers and that you have stickers on your shirt.
I have just one, but I thought that was pretty cute. I noticed the puffy ones on your arm, though. I was like, that's kind of a look.
I forgot about that. I have a sticker sleeve right now. We walked by Ember before we were recording, and she covered us in stickers. Mm-hmm. And now I'm kind of afraid.
This one actually she gave with what do you call it?
A stipulation.
Yeah, it was like she was hesitant.
Yes,
you know,
she asked you what your preference of sticker was, and you told her, and I think she was hoping to keep that sticker.
She was like, "What do you guys want, the butterfly or the chicken?" I was like, "I'll take the butterfly, please." And she was like,
and she literally just stood there and was just like,
She was like,
"Wrong answer, bitch."
And then she goes like, "But I want them," and I was like, "Oh, then just hypothetically, like what I would want is the butterfly." And then she was like, "Here you go."
She's like trying so best to learn to share, and she's just like shaking, giving you the butterfly.
Still gripping it as I'm trying to take it out of her hands. Her fingers are all white, holding it.
But now I'm too scared to take these stickers off because I'm scared they're going to rip the hair out of my arms. I'm very afraid of
wax off.
Band-Aid pulling off.
Just like wax.
Ugh. It's just the thing to me. It just freaks me out. So now guess what, broads? If you're watching this, I'm going to have a full sticker arm.
Do you get waxed? No.
Not normally, no.
No.
I've gotten waxed a few times when I would go to my girl who used to do my eyelashes, and she would make comments about my mustache, and then I would feel self-conscious.
How do you say self-conscious?
How do you say self-conscious? And I would end up getting very self-conscious, and then I would end up waxing it. And I was not a fan of doing that, and now I just don't.
What about like bikini?
I'm a shaver. I've gotten waxed one time in the bikini region.
Legs?
I've never waxed my legs.
I used to get everything waxed.
Really?
Like I'm talking everything.
I did the bikini the one time, and I was like, this is not comfy.
Oh, I still do that every month.
Do you? Do you just get a trim? What shape are you currently
and I always
at?
go in and out. I used to always like not, like a few years ago, I was like not shaving, not waxing anything. And then I went back to just doing bikini wax, like bikini. And then sometimes now I do Brazilian. Sometimes, most of the time, I'll do just like a V.
I like the V.
It's cute.
I like the V. I like the landing strip, but I tend to like the V the most aesthetically.
Yeah, because it's like you kind of got like a little bit of a natural vibe, but then it's like practically speaking, you're just fully smooth. Anyway,
but I do like a bush that I like a bush that's just kind of like trimmed, but I've never been able, I've talked to you about this before. I try to grow it out and then I get so itchy that I end up just shaving it. So I like the way it looks. When I see it, I'm like, oh, I like this. And then I try and I just get mighty itchy.
I used to literally get my stomach waxed, my armpits waxed, my arms waxed, my legs waxed. This is why I like had to go on a little self-love journey. I used to get like basically everything from the neck down waxed. I don't mind it though. It doesn't bother me.
Getting
it kind of
hurts. Yeah.
You know what I hate?
What?
Getting my eyebrows threaded.
Ooh, that hurts so bad.
And like I said, I'm someone who used to get everything waxed.
That hurts.
The feeling of the little it's like it makes my eyes water. It makes my nose feel like I'm gonna sneeze. It's just I'm clenching my jaw so hard my TMJ is quaking.
Your TMJ is hilarious.
I can barely make it through.
Yeah.
Getting your upper lip threaded is
I've never gotten it threaded before.
The worst pain.
I've never gotten it threaded.
It is the worst. It is the worst. It makes my skin crawl thinking about it. My eyebrow threading girls are fairly close where I can go get my eyebrows threaded. So I go all the time and just like.
So you have luscious brows. The brows aren't so much of an issue for me now because my alopecia. Oh man, there is a large chunk gone out of one of my eyebrows right now. It's unfortunate.
You don't get them underneath at all?
I get a couple, but instead of tweezing them, I normally celebrate their growth.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, are you aesthetically in a place where you technically would be if I'd be going and getting my eyebrows threaded? No, they would remove you.
Right.
But for me, I celebrate you.
You were like, we are having a Cara Delevingne moment.
Yes, I was like, oh my God. I go to get my eyebrows done.
Brooke Shields,
and I'm just like, can you believe how thick my eyebrows are? They're just like, and I'm like, I had these extra 3 grow in right here. Come on. No, I've had some major patchiness going on, and I really want to get my eyebrows microbladed. I don't know why I haven't done that yet.
I mean, it's risky business, I gotta say. Not really. I got mine done, but
because yours look so good.
Thanks. But you know, the healing process.
Yeah, so I'm a little nervous.
It is a nightmare. Like you have to keep like the cream on them, and then they're all like, if you have even the tiniest bit of like brown pigment, they're like bright red almost.
Yeah.
You don't need any brown pigment though. If I were you, I would do like what you fill them in with, like an ashy gray, black.
But then it's like, yeah, I don't know. I get I'm a little nervous about it.
Find someone with just a million good reviews on Yelp.
Yeah, I've been looking at some really good people, and I was thinking what I would do is that the day that I get my as a celebration for getting my first vaccine dose, that I would get start microblading as like a celebration of like, I'm getting vaxxed up, my eyebrows are getting ready to start going out again. But then I was like, but then I started reading things, and I was like, maybe what if my body's like trying to heal 2 things at once? Maybe I should wait.
True, because it's like a tattoo.
I'm gonna get it then. At least I gotta get it after the vaccine, just to celebrate the future going out.
How's the alopecia doing?
The alopecia is actually like on a decent pause right now. It's on a decent pause.
Honestly, your hair, well, you're just good at styling your hair.
Thank you.
Your hair always looks very luscious.
Thank you, my dear. It's this product that I also put in to fill in any like bald spots that I found that's fantastic.
Drop it.
But the name, Topics. I get it Topics in black, and it's just a little powder, and it's like little hair powders. But let me tell you, first time you take a shower, you wash that out, horrifying. I've gone to get my hair cut before, and I've had it in, and the stylist, as they were washing my hair, literally gasped out loud and was like, your hair, and they couldn't help it. And I felt really, like, I felt bad. They were like, oh, sorry, your hair it's just kind of dirty. And I was like, that's the granules to cover up my bald spots.
And then they're like, oh, your hair, it's so patchy. Just the worst person.
They were really trying. They literally had a reaction because it shocked them, because it's just like,
I'm surprised they don't like know
coming out.
What that is.
You know, we live in LA, and like nobody doesn't have perfect hair, so they're just like, no. I haven't gone to many hairstylists that are like, oh yeah, I have a lot of clients that I don't know, but it goes through phases. So a couple months ago, it was dumping. Like, it was like anytime I would run my hands through my hair, it'd be like 15 pieces stuck in my fingers, and then I'm like, oh gosh. And that's why I cut it short again recently, because it was like it had just kind of done a dumping session, and now it stopped, so I'm like letting it. And I was about to grow my hair out. I was like, I think I want to grow it out and do like kind of like a tight Euro bob or something.
I know. I actually was looking on your Instagram recently and saw the when you had the bob, like right when we started the podcast, kind of. It's pretty cute.
I love it. And
I love this hair too.
Thanks. I just miss sometimes having something to flick occasionally when I feel a little sassy. But I have like the alopecia,
like a little.
Yes. A little like curl around like the ears. Oof. But I with the alopecia, I have a form that like which I'm so grateful for. Like, it typically will grow back. Oh. So it is sometimes stress induced, hormonally induced.
So it's like not like you permanently lose patches.
No, it'll grow back, which I'm very grateful for, but it just comes in waves, you know. Jeez. So it just happens. It's like sometimes it just falls out a ton, and sometimes it doesn't. But it's typically like every 3 months I have a big dumping session, and I'm like, blessings.
Thank you, alopecia gods.
It's just like, instead of dandruff, it's just hair on the shoulders. But anywho.
I'm sorry you go through that. I'm glad you're on a good swing right now.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. It actually is one of those things that it's like, it sounds like silly to talk about, but like, it was such an insecurity. Like,
I completely understand
that. I was like, oh my gosh. Because at first I thought it was just because it started post-pregnancy and it just hasn't gone away. There's a chance that eventually it might just fully go away. But I was seeing all these different doctors about it, and like nothing was making it, stop. And I was just like, you didn't realize how much the hair was like part of like styling something, and like I like to change my style up and feel different sometimes, and my hair would help me do that.
100%. That's my relationship to my hair.
But you are one of the people who made me feel like really empowered to be able to chop it off, because I remember meeting you and I was like, I've always wanted like
you
pixie
never
hair.
had it before?
I never had. No.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And I met you and I was like, she looks so stinking cute, and it looked so. And so then I was like, it inspired me to chop it, and it's been literally like. It's so empowering and life-changing to have short hair.
I thought you were a pixie veteran.
No.
Straight up. You act like a pixie veteran.
Thank you so much.
I thought you had been around the block.
No, I had never chopped it.
Wow, that's cool.
When you met me, that was the shortest it had ever been, when it was like a bob.
Wow.
Yeah.
See,
Inspiration Station.
I think because I was trying so hard, desperately to be different in high school. I first did a pixie when I was like 15. Wow. So I've had pixie. People are always like, "Oh, do you think we'll cut it again?" And I'm like, "Definitely. It is the best."
It is so fun. It's so fun. Like you miss it. You miss the long hair sometimes. Like
I miss the styles.
Yeah.
I also miss this. I miss putting it up in a messy bun and just being like, I'm just being lazy right now and wearing a big t-shirt. Like, it's not the same with a pixie.
No. You kind of have to style it a little more, and you sometimes feel like.
Yeah. I almost felt weird if I styled it and didn't have makeup and like was wearing like. Yeah, slouchy clothes.
You know what has been empowering me lately though is like I won't wear. Typically now I don't wear like any makeup when we're not recording, and I'll wear my like I'll wear some like baggy clothes and have like but I'll have my hair a little styled, and I just have like major fuckboy energy. I kind of live for the fuckboy energy.
I think that's great.
Makes me feel kind of just like shit.
You're gonna pick up Ember.
I may steal your girl. I don't know.
Did you ever watch United States of Tara?
No.
Jess, you've got. Okay, I know you would love this show. It's with what's the actress from
what's her face? Tara, who was always kind of struggle city. What was her name? Tara around Paris Hilton times.
What?
Who am I thinking of?
Maybe. I don't know who you're talking about. I'm talking about the girl who was...
She was always intoxicated at parties.
Oh, no.
At celebrity parties. Oh.
Okay. No. Okay. No. Oh, no. This isn't a reality TV show.
I'm thinking of Tara Reid.
Oh. No. The really, really scary movie. I could look it up right now, but then...
I'm doing it.
Okay, fine.
United States of Tara is... Oh, Toni Collette.
Yes. Love her.
From
my
Hereditary.
Queen.
Oh,
yeah,
my
that's what
gosh.
I was trying to conjure up the name for you.
Oh, she's so good.
Okay, and the dad, the guy who plays her husband, look him up. He's so zaddy.
Oh, yeah. John Corbett or Corbett, he's in Sex and the City.
He's so hot in this show.
Such a daddy.
He's so hot in this show. And then also the people who play our kids are now huge.
Brie Larson. Oh
Brie
my
Larson.
gosh.
This is like before the two of them were big. And then the son is
Keir Gilchrist.
He's I
don't know if I know him, but Brie Larson. Holy smokes.
Anyway, yeah. So it's an amazing cast, and the whole show is about the mom dealing with multiple personality disorder. But she goes into when she goes into personalities, she has like it's just a really good show, and it's like heartwarming about a family who loves their mom who's struggling. But she has like a character where she plays Buck, who is like this like southern like right wing gun toting truck driver, and like who like smokes cigarettes inside and is like fuck you and like
oh my god.
And so when there's this one scene where her daughter is like getting pushed around by her boyfriend, and then Buck shows up and is in front of all the kids at the high school, like fucks him up
and like takes
beats the shit out of him.
Oh my god.
Yeah, beats the shit out of him, and is just like fuck you. Anyway, that kind of reminded me when you were like the fuckboy energy. I imagine you like rolling up to pick up Ember, being like.
I do show up sometimes, and a lot of the mothers there are like, I'm one of the younger moms, and everyone there is like very professional, and sometimes I'll show up. Well, not sometimes, 99% of the time I'll show up like baggy sweatshirt, like with the hood on, very Justin Bieber, backwards hat. And I'm just kind of like, hey, what's going on? Like, I look at one of the moms and I'm just like, hey, what's up?
I think it's another thing. United States Tara, she ends up like she's Buck, who ends up like hooking up with like a classmate's mom or something like that.
It's not off the table. It's not off the table.
Amazing energy.
Well, you want to take a pause
Anyway.
quick before?
Yeah.
Because, hey, we have a lot of Bachelor Nation news to talk about. Holy smokes. And then also want to talk about this Chatty Bros episode a smidgy bit.
Yep, I'm down.
Before we dive into this. So, okay, broads, here's a fact. Talking about my
Okay.
hair, my unique hair.
My
Listen,
hair, my breasts.
my hair, my breasts. My breasts are unique. Your breasts are as unique and individual as you are. So why on earth do we subject ourselves to just a handful of bra styles in a few sizes and expect them to fit each and every one of our bodies? It just doesn't make any sense. Third Love is mixing up the bra industry by doing everything differently, literally everything. For starters, they have over 80 sizes to choose from, ranging from AA to I, including half cups and band sizes from 30 to 48.
Did you know I didn't wear a bra for years, and the first bra I bought in years was a Third Love bra.
Really?
And I haven't regretted it. Like, there are moments where I'm like, I just want to be wearing a bra.
They're so comfortable.
And there's no other one I would choose.
Do you know what I do often?
What?
Because they're so comfy, I fall asleep in them all the time. Accidentally, because I don't even remember that they're on.
That is an endorsement if I've ever heard
my
one.
My breasts don't forget because they are looking lush.
Well, look, guys, never again will you have to force yourself to go bra shopping for the first time in years, if you're like me, in a chaotic department store. That's probably why I avoided it for so long. Because Third Love's entire bra shopping experience is done right from your home computer. To get started... or your phone, I guess, right from your home computer. To get started, you'll take their fitting room quiz, which is basically like having your own personal shopper. And based on questions like breast shape, current fit issues, and breast size, Third Love Fit Stylist will recommend the perfect size and shape to suit you. Over 18 million women have found their perfect bras this way. We are part of that 18 million, and you could be next.
Once I discovered Third Love bras, they became my go-to every single day. I'm obviously wearing one right now. I would show you if we wouldn't get demonetized. Their bras are so comfy, but also so sexy. Basically, they're perfect. They've got it all. And all of Third Love's bras are made with their signature memory foam cups, no slip straps, and a scratch-free band. Whether you're looking for a bra to lounge in, a bra for every day, or a bra for a sexy occasion, there's plenty to choose from on Third Love.
Third Love knows your one true fit is out there. So right now they are offering our listeners 20% off your first order. Go to thirdlove.com/chatty now to find your perfect fitting bra and get 20% off your first purchase. That's thirdlove.com/chatty for 20% off today.
Bekah, when it comes to springtime, a lot of people think of flowers and warmer weather and long weekends. But for me, every single year, springtime is when my health starts to get just less than ideal. It's just kind of what happens to me in the spring. So prepare yourself in this podcast. I always try to start a new year strong, but by April or May, I can feel it. My energy levels are usually starting to get pretty low. It can start to feel like I'm running on fumes. And that's why I'm looking at the spring months as a time to really focus on my health with Care of, the wellness brand that makes it super easy to optimize your health with customized vitamin plans.
The experts at Care of figure out exactly what your body needs so that you don't have to. All you need to do is take their 5-minute online quiz so that they can get all the details on your current diet and lifestyle and what specific concerns or goals you have around your health. And Care of will take your results. They'll create a completely customized regimen just for you. All of the vitamins are made using the best ingredients available, and you'll get insight into exactly what they're recommending, why they're recommending it, and the science behind its effects.
That is so crucial. I can't even begin to tell you how many vitamins I've picked up from the store, had no idea if they were even what they claimed to be on the bottle. And if I had to guess, sometimes I would say no. And I went to take my Care of quiz, and in just 5 minutes, I had an entire mapped out plan addressing each concern I had had, and ever since, I've committed to taking my vitamin packs every day. I feel better than ever. They're also just so transparent about all their research and the way that they get all their materials and everything. They're fantastic.
For 50% off your first Care of order, go to takecareof.com/chatty50 and enter code chatty50. That's takecareof.com/chatty50 and enter code chatty50 for 50% off your first Care of order.
Do you ever say vitamins? I feel like I always say vitamins, and every time I say it, it bothers me that I say it.
I was like, no, I can't say that because I hate that.
It's when it comes out of your mouth, and I'm embarrassed. Like, and I'm like, and I'll say it like
my daily vitamins.
I'll say it to Evan. I'll be like, "Can you pass me my vitamins?" And every time I say it, I'm like, "Oof, that was an embarrassing moment for me." Be trying to be funny, and it's just
cringe.
Wow,
again.
this comedy is flopping big time. Speaking of Evan,
speaking of comedy flopping.
Oh, poor sweet Gray. Okay, so Broads, I don't know if you've listened to our the Chatty Bros episode. The boys answered a bunch of questions that you all had sent, and I think they're probably going to do it again in this upcoming episode because you all sent so many great questions. And there was a response.
I don't know why I think this is so funny right now because it really wasn't that funny. But like right now, I'm finding it really hilarious.
I think that's sometimes what happens when you just feel so exhausted and overwhelmed with something. You're just like, I just have to laugh about it. I don't know. Well, the response to the podcast.
Look, basically, we were like going about me and Jess both listening to the episode. We're like, great, another win for the boys.
Love the boys. Think they're so great. Think they're so funny.
Which. Anyway, basically there was a lot of people who are a decent amount of people who felt pretty disappointed and or hurt on my behalf of the way Gray was talking about me in the episode. And I'll like save it for him because I know he like really, at first we were both feeling super defensive and then he like really thought about it and like honestly consider it. And I was like, damn, like maybe I do need to like change the way that I like talk about you like in public. On my end, I feel like I can't say this without seeming like I'm just like, yeah, it's cool. My boyfriend is totally shitty to me. But it's like, I don't know. It's like, I think that I want to remind people that like the way both Grayston and my personality is like what you see is what you get, like the good, the bad, and the ugly. So it's like the things he said, I know that like he feels some certain ways and it's stuff we've talked about and it's stuff that like, I don't know. It's just, it doesn't, I guess like nothing you said on the episode like really bothered me. There was like one or two things where I was like, hey, that's not fair. And then I explained to him why and he's like, yeah, that makes sense. It's like, Grayston is the kind of person who just word vomit sometimes, and
which is, I find one of the most endearing things about him personally, because I feel like he's just like, like you said, you guys both say it how it is. And I think, you know, first of all, I have had a few thoughts. First, like when you're saying that Gray, you're going to let him address it, obviously. But he is so wired in a way where he's like, which I admire about him, is that he's willing to like hear out and then reevaluate, which is a gift and is very difficult. And the fact that he really like was taking everything so to heart is so admirable to me. From my perspective, when I was listening to the episode, and this is just for the broads, I actually know your relationship. And so for me, I was listening to it and I was laughing because it's like, I'll just break this down. Tea into Bekah and Gray's relationship behind the scenes. Let me know if I go too far. You guys both are wired, like when Bekah and Gray are together, there is a major electricity and it's like, you guys just like are best friends and also now find out very romantically and sensually
so.
Like mwah, mwah.
No, you know what it was is I had literally just had sex with him before he left.
So
and it was like the first time in like a week and a half, you know, he had been all like,
so he was like,
oh my God, like you never desire me, you know? And then I like had sex with him and he's like, favorite thing about her sex drive.
But like the two of you are just like, there's like best friend and they love each other so much and it's so apparent. And I was telling you, and we had talked about this, I think somewhat recently too, where I'm like, I see since, because broads, I met you right.
Like we're talking the meeting.
The meeting of Bekah and I met her. We hung out once with a group of friends. The next time I hung out with her, I was like, so are you seeing anybody? Are you thinking about going on Paradise? And you were like, I just met this guy and I actually just went out on a date with him. And it was Gray. And that was when I first met you. So then obviously
the evolution,
and then getting pregnant and then having Ruth. And I feel like of any of the couples that I know, I haven't seen like a wilder evolution in positivity.
Oh, wow.
Like, so you guys were always like gracious with each other, but the difference of, okay, I think we're going to try to make this work, to like deep love and like partnership is just very like admirable to me. And something that I admire about the two of you so much is the fact that you are super straightforward with each other. Because I know in my relationship with Evan, it took a very long time for us to be straightforward with each other. And that would lead to bitterness. It would lead to pent up things and then explosions later. And so, yeah, the way that you guys communicate is you'll just like be super forthright with each other. And I think it's great because it's real and you guys don't hold on to anything. And then when I'll watch you guys, and if you guys disagree with something for a second, you disagree about it. And then like 2 seconds later, you're like, do you want me to order food for you? And he's like, I'm going to go get the baby. And I was telling Bekah too, when there was some of these comments with Gray, I'm like, I literally had just gotten off, or like right before they recorded, I had just hung out with you and had him on speakerphone, where both of the little ones, he had both of them, they were both having a meltdown day, and you were supposed to go to someone's birthday, and he was like, just do whatever you feel like you need to do to take time for you. And I hear the little ones crying in the background, and I'm feeling like, oh my gosh, I'd be feeling anxious. And you were like, I want to make sure he's okay. And like, just, I don't know. It's just, you guys have a really beautiful relationship.
Everyone's relationship looks different. And yes, there are relationships that are unhealthy and like toxic and abusive. And that's just not our relationship.
It's quite frankly the opposite. And as somebody who has seen friends who are in those, and walked through that with some friends, and like the pain in that. And I'm sure that like, you know, yeah, that's obvious. It's a sensitive subject, obviously, for a good reason to many people.
Yes, and I think some people were coming from a good place of like, these are like red flags that I see that I had in like my toxic relationship.
Yes.
But with peace and love. No, the thing that hurt me the most, the thing that's hard and that I've talked about on the podcast with you, Jess, I brought this up the other day, and something we've talked about on the podcast, the hardest thing sometimes is about putting it all out there is when people fundamentally misunderstand you, but the feeling of feeling like someone that you love so much is fundamentally misunderstood is so like,
and when you know what a beautiful person it is too, you're
so
just like,
gut-wrenching.
Oh God,
like there were people that were calling him an asshole and a douchebag, and I'm just like, he is like one of like he's like truly like a friend to everyone. Like
he's like just like this precious human.
Except at the TSA, you know, don't get him pissed off at the TSA.
But no, he's just has this energy where he's just like, you meet him and you're just like big smile Gray. Of like the four of us, he'd be the one who'd come and be like, hi, how are you?
And he is like, oh yeah, oh my God, he wants to make friends with everyone, and he's like ready to go to bat to like fight for someone, to like stand up for people and to stand up for what's right. Yeah. And what you said is so true. I tell this to people like all the time. I was just telling someone the other day that was commenting something about him, and I was like, Grayston, like sometimes he may not seem like he's listening, but then like what you'll see, which means so much more than words, is you'll see him like a day later, like doing like we'll get in a fight and I'll be like, you are just not like pulling your weight with this, and he'll be like, that's not true, and you know, we'll be in a whole fight, and then the next day I'll see him like doing everything. The next weeks, months, I'll see him doing everything he can to put into action that thing that I said that like hurt me, or that I needed him to pick up. And like, he's just like that. Like anyone who's friends with Grayston, he has the most, a friend said this to me the other day, and I was like, no, Grayston is the person who has the most friends from a very young age, because he is loyal as fuck to the people that he loves. Like he is a ride or die friend, partner, like dad. He's like there to like be there for people, and that's just what he does. So
yeah. Oh my God. No, the other day when they were recording, not this last episode but the one beforehand, we were talking briefly about something that in our business format you and I've been talking about, and Grayston literally was like, I was listening to him and Evan talk, and he's like, I just like really want to get like better at it and good at it because I want to make Bekah like really proud. And I was like, that's the cutest. Like, that's so cute. And the thing is too, in their conversations, first of all, these boys aren't used to being on a platform and realizing that all these people are listening and like, people are going to have different opinions. The broads are going to have different opinions. But, from them, Bekah and I have always encouraged them. We're like, you guys be the comic relief at the end of the week. Be vulnerable, get real, have fun, be funny. Don't talk about the serious stuff about The Bachelor. Just have a good time conversation. So I think when they're sitting here too, it's like they're joking around and they have different senses of humor from sometimes some of the listeners. Just like it's happened with us numerous times where people think we're being serious and we're very much joking. And I think the four of us are actually all very sarcastic people, which can get us in trouble sometimes. But I don't know. I wanted to say something because
I so appreciate that.
When I was reading through the comments, and like you said too, I think some of the comments were coming from a place because everybody loves you so much.
And
but
love.
As your friend and also a friend of Gray's, but especially watching the two of you together over the past 2 years, I was getting very defensive because I was just like, that's not true. Like, he's such a good person and he's such a good dad and partner. That I just wanted to say that too, before they have their conversation. I'm sure not this Friday, but next
just
Friday.
Wait, you guys. Grayson's going to be like, oh, Rebecca, my queen, my star, my shining flower.
We're talking about he's not going to call you back anymore. He's just going to be like, my flower, my treasure. When Evan's just like, so like, what are the things that bug you about Bekah? He'd be like, you mean my treasure, the light of my life, my heart and my soul? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Everything
my
about
queen
her
sacrifices everything for me.
Inspires me.
And I will never be enough for her.
I will only try harder and harder throughout every second of every day, every
fiber of my
breath. I will protect her and take care of her and be a better man. No, broads, don't worry. They're not gonna. We told them to. We're like, you guys, like don't, and also so much love for the broads. There were then so much outpouring of love, being like, no, we love the episode.
Oh yeah.
And whatever.
Also, in case you noticed, Gray deleted his little post thing there. He got paranoid about like people from work listening to Chatty Bros. Just in general. Boy, do I know the paranoia of work. I had some tea that I don't know if I'll ever reveal on Chatty Broads of maybe a workspace I was in when we started Chatty Broads, and people are like, you're talking about sex this much? Yikes. Yeah, that's another conversation.
That's another conversation that I don't know if I'll ever open up about. But
maybe in our tell-all book.
Oh yes, the book that's in the works, broads.
Yeah, we need to make a Google Doc for that. But
yeah, I'm literally writing down just like reminder.
No, it's been on my to-do list for like weeks now, but it's like I keep putting more things ahead of it, and it's like book a Google Doc.
Quick reminder: write down outline for book.
We'll get there when we get there.
We're gonna get there when we get there. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to say that. And much love to the boys and to the broads,
and much love to y'all for looking out for me. I appreciate that you'd go to bat if I was with some piece of shit. But thankfully I'm not. So
thankfully she's not. And if she was, the broads and myself would be,
too. I don't think you would be like, yeah, let's put your shitty boyfriend on a podcast with my husband.
I would not be into being like, do you want to have an episode every other week on the Chatty Broads platform? I would not be trusting of that if that was a situation. I'd be quaking. Also, I saw some comment when I didn't know any of this was happening.
Yeah, and some people are so sweet and like deleted their comments like after I had commented something. Anyway, everyone was being really nice and gracious after we.
Everyone was being so sweet, and then but I didn't know that any of this was happening until Sweet Gray sent a message to our group chat and was like, being like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, what is happening? I don't understand. Like,
did you be honest? Did your stomach just drop? Were you like,
my stomach fully dropped? But I was also like, what?
What are you talking about?
My brain went like. What could he possibly be talking about? Like, I'm like, did you post something that like has having backlash to it that's like separate?
All right.
I'm like, did you find out the login for the Chatty Bros Instagram and like post some wild shit on it? Like, I this feels unlike you, but okay. So I didn't know that anything was going on. So then I was like scrolling through some of the comments, and I saw someone say that people were like, they think that Gray and Evan hate each other.
Oh my God, I saw that. I loved that theory, honestly.
I know. I wanted to, I almost commented, but then Ember was being in an Ember zone. I was having a hard time typing things. But I was kind of like, I'm kind of living for like this potentially dramatic twist. That like this theory that like they
what if
can't
they have like a
stand
big
each other?
blowout fight on
We could
air?
create that. Or just like that we're forcing them to do this podcast together
For money.
for cash, and that we're forcing them together and they're
It's
mortal
not even
enemies.
monetized yet, and it's already going
The
downhill.
podcast that has no ads on it, and we're forcing them to do it together, and they just can't stand each other, and they just like they're each other's worst enemies. It made me laugh. I was like, you guys, they wanted to do this show and they had to talk Bekah and I into letting them do that. They like each other a lot.
They were sneaking into the studio.
They were sneaking into the studio and breaking in. It was wild. But they hate each other.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if we actually did that? If like they really didn't like each other and we were like
That would be crazy.
And we were like, we know that you guys don't like each other, but we think you guys have good chemistry, so you should do a podcast together and like force them to do it. And every day they would that would actually probably be a really good podcast.
It probably would be.
It's kind of like a frenemies vibe where like they didn't like each other.
And then they could grow, have to learn and grow and
Yeah, and eventually they'll come together.
Should we each get podcasts with people that we don't like?
I think that's a great idea. I'm trying to think about like who.
I mean, I think we could come up with some ideas that we probably just shouldn't say on air.
I have some thoughts, but that's for if we ever put a Patreon.
I know
on
who
one
you would
day.
probably pair me with. I'm trying to think of who I would pair you with.
Oh yeah, I know who I'd probably pair.
I know
you
how I'd
with.
pair you with. Hailey Bieber.
That's true. Probably.
We'll get into that one day, Rods.
One day we'll talk about that. Oh Lord, that would be rough. That would be hard for me.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
It would be
if,
learning and growing.
I would be learning and growing, but I don't know if really Hailey. Hailey is very like composed and like I don't think like would maybe let her disdain for me.
It would probably just be like a truly
"Who
bad
are you?"
podcast.
She would just be like, "Who are you?"
Assuming she did know who you were, okay, it would just probably be a bad podcast because she would just probably not want to talk.
It would be a really bad podcast. And also I can go in and out of liking to confront people. And then sometimes I have phases where I don't want to confront people.
Yeah, same.
And I feel
Depends
like
on the energy.
Yeah. And I feel like if she's putting that energy out, I wouldn't want to confront her. And then it would just us be like fake, kind of boring.
That's what I'm saying. It would be kind of a bad podcast.
I think yours would be good.
Are we thinking like the Bachelor person that I'm thinking?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought about that for like 2 seconds, and I'm like, I bet on the second episode it would just be like you guys would probably be amazing,
become really good friends really quickly. It would be like the one episode 1. It would be kind of a blowout, and then maybe by the second,
no, probably
episode,
not. It would just be like super passive aggressive. I don't know if I would ever have like a blowout. I can't imagine. I really can't imagine myself ever having a blowout fight on the podcast.
What if the person started coming at you in like high intensity, upset, angry? Do you think that you would stay passive aggressive, or do you think that you would match their energy?
No, my adrenaline would start surging through my veins, and I would get like sometimes like I used to. Oh man, I haven't been in this phase in so long. That sounded weird. Like I was having like a manic episode. I used to sort of like right when I was on The Bachelor, like women tell all after the final rose, going on interviews and stuff after, I would kind of like black out and kind of like go into like autopilot mode where I would just start saying crazy shit. I would like just kind of because my vision would kind of go blurry and I would just kind of like
it's interesting that you say that because like right when I met you and you had just finished recording or filming the season. And then I saw you like on the Women Tell All, and then on my goodness, Boris for the Love. After the final rose, and I remember you were very ballsy and you were like saying it how it is. But then when you and I started the podcast, you were super non-confrontational, and I was like, I was trying to like read the situation.
It's fueled by an audience, I think, for sure. And like fueled by people's reactions and like that kind of thing.
Do you think it was just also so jarring to all of a sudden get thrust with all these eyes on you that then you wanted to like defend certain things or people or yourself or whatever?
I'm sure that was definitely part of it. But also like sometimes when you say really crazy shit, like when you're just like, oh, like... I remember I just said something so mean about like Caroline, where I was just like, I would hate to be trapped in an elevator with her. Like I'd probably stab myself before going through with it. Like when you say crazy stuff like that, people are like, oh my God.
They react.
Like even like the interviewer is like, holy shit. And sometimes I still go into it every once in a while if I'm like really feeling it. Like if I'm on, that's why I got to be careful about going on other people's podcasts.
And Lord knows an interviewer is never going to be like, are you sure you want to say that?
Well, especially, you know what it is? I'm so stupid sometimes where if I've never heard of the podcast, I assume no one else listens.
And then will you not check it out to be like, to gauge it?
Or I just am like, no one's going to listen. Like I don't know why. Like my mindset is almost like none of my followers or our listeners are going to listen to it. It's almost like I'm yelling into a void.
Yeah.
So I just say things that I would never say on our podcast because like, it probably won't get back around.
But I also think that's kind of, you have an innocence to your being. I feel like that you kind of
a naivety, one might say.
No, I don't think it's naivety. I don't think it's naivety. I think it's literally kind of this innocence sometimes where you're like,
I didn't think anyone would hear that.
Or also, you also don't think people are going to try to trap you in things. You think I'll listen sometimes, broads. Again, some behind the scenes tea. Mm-hmm. Sometimes we'll have guests on and they'll come in here or we're Zooming them. And before it starts, you'll be chatting and you'll say something and I'll be like, why are you saying that? Bekah, like that's a personal detail that you just revealed. And I think you're just kind of like, we're friends. We're having like an honest moment together. And I think it's a beautiful innocence about you.
That is true.
I think it makes people feel comfortable right away with you. But sometimes I'm just like, just give that person your address. You said your address almost on this podcast. True.
No, I definitely do not assume that people will try to weaponize information against me.
No.
I do not assume that people are going to, try to trap me in things or try to take information and spin it. And I am always taken aback. It's because I am not someone who's going to do someone dirty.
Well, on this podcast, before we have a guest, we always let the guests know that if there ever was anything that they said that made them feel uncomfortable, we're completely like, we will take it out of the podcast. Like, I'm not in the business. You're not in the business of like wanting to trap someone in a situation when they regret saying something on a public platform. Yeah, and some people disagree with that, but to me, I'm kind of like, listen, if you've accepted to come on into my space,
God.
like,
I'm gonna treat you with respect.
Of course. And it's like, if you're not comfortable with that, even if it's good clickbait for us, it's like, no, we're going to take it out. Like, I'm not going to like put you in that situation.
Someone to treat you that way?
No, but people will do it.
Right. And granted, like when I go off of an interview or something, I just try not to ever think about it again after. I'm like, oh man, I probably said some crazy shit. I don't really want to think about it. And I just try to move on.
I kind of feel you on that a little bit. Like I have only been on a few other podcasts, but I don't post them a lot because all of a sudden I'm too nervous. I'm like, did I say something? And if I post about it and people listen, like, what if I said something that like I would regret? Because sometimes
I almost always say something.
When you're on someone else's podcast you're vibing. You also can kind of have nervous energy where you want to be entertaining and you don't want to be a boring guest. What it is. So then sometimes you say weird shit. And I'm like, why did I just say that? Like, I didn't mean
really
that.
Out there stuff. Like when I was on Reality Steve's podcast a long time ago, and I was like, I think Raven is full of fucking bullshit. I said like a bitch who's full of bullshit. I don't know. I said just some shit that was totally like out of pocket, and I was like, oh, I don't really know why I said that.
Sometimes it's almost unexplainable.
So I don't really know why I said that.
No, and you're like, why did I just say this on somebody's platform? It's not like a friend that I can ask to remove
like
something.
When I called Nick Viall repulsive.
Oh yeah.
Kind of felt that one at the time.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like you felt
that.
But
now I'm like, do you think on Chatty Bros I would ever call like a Bachelor Nation person repulsive except for Goose?
I was gonna say, I think there's every once in a while, Goose is the one you'll hold to,
and Ben,
sweet Nick.
We
love you, Nick.
I mean, at the time, actually, Nick was kind of on par with like Ben and for me. Should we try to get his girlfriend on to tell us secrets about him? I just had that thought.
Have you met her yet?
No. Why would I met her?
I didn't know.
Just hanging with Nick. I mean, I guess that's not totally weird.
I was going to say, I'm like, I don't know.
But COVID times, we're not necessarily going out together.
That's true.
But what if we got her in the studio and was like, let's do shots?
Oh my gosh, we should definitely try. What if I bet he'd come on Well, no, I was going to say he'd probably want to have his first episode ever with her on his podcast. But I was going to say, like,
Yeah, I
it would
guess
be
he
fun
hasn't
to
had
get
her
them
on yet.
both on together and have them and ask personal questions.
Ooh, and watch their reactions and stuff.
Yes.
That actually would be
seems-
good. Like we could just like have a list and read from it and have them be like extremely vulgar, like really just like questions that they're not going to want to answer. Make them extremely uncomfortable and film it.
I know nothing about her at all,
Me
but
neither.
all I know is that she reminds me so much of Evan's brother's girlfriend. So I associate her personality with that. And my brother-in-law's girlfriend is like super low key, very like straightforward, so chill that you think, but then you're like, oh, if I say that, is it gonna like offend them? But she's like the opposite.
Okay, I could actually pick up that vibe from her, to be honest.
Right? She kind of gives off that energy.
I feel like yes.
I like just see little videos of her and I was like, I like this girl. I don't know anything about this
think I do
girl,
too.
but I vibe on her.
I also like she has some great tops that I need to get her
She
in the
does.
studio to ask her what the brands are because she doesn't tag them in the posts.
We need to become her friend and raid her closet.
Why isn't she already being an
Nick,
influencer and posting links of her fits? I'd like to know it.
She's a busy woman being like a nurse or an anesthesiologist or something like that.
Some shit.
Also, Nick seems so happy.
He does.
He seems very happy.
He does.
Cute.
Happy for him.
Happy for him too.
Um,
Okay, so Bachelor, should we just dive in now since we're talking some Bachelor Nation? Should we talk about some Bachelor Nation news that has been happening in recent days? So there's a lot. I also want to preface this conversation with one thing that I'm really paranoid about right now. Before we went into the studio, I was gathering information on Bennett, and Ember was looking through videos of Bennett because she wanted to look at this man that I was watching his videos on. She told me that she didn't like him, which is major shade from Ember. But then also
Red
she
flag.
took my phone and was going through all of his things. And I'm so scared that she was double tapping everything. And I'm so paranoid. So broads, if all of a sudden you see Jessica going on a Bennett liking spree, it is because my child is double tapping his videos that she says she's not a
I'm
fan
going
of.
to go look at his Instagram right now just to peek around because I like to know what's going on. Oh my god! His smile. I can't. What do you want to talk about? The peaches?
I have a few things about Bennett.
Please.
And the broads, they're not going to like this.
Really?
Probably not.
Okay.
My horror of all of Bennett's videos and comments, my horror has turned into a borderline obsession that now is almost like my cringe pleases me so much. Like
I'm still scared of him, Jess.
so am I, but I also, it's becoming this kind of like, if you're not on Paradise, I'm actually going to be really disappointed. Like, I'm so scared, but I need him to be on Paradise because I feel like we saw on, with Tayshia, this side of Bennett that was like date Bennett. But I think Paradise, we will see like Bennett who like interacts with everyone and is dating multiple people. And I just feel like it's going to be everything we need in a horrifying way. But I have become to borderline worship him because honestly, he's the only one really giving me good content from Bachelor Nation as far as
I will say
in
that's
recent
fair.
days. I mean, the man is providing. He just dropped this video of him in a peach colored suit, I don't know, at a train station, the airport or something, dancing to Justin Bieber's latest song, Peaches.
Where is he? Yeah, I guess
I'm not sure.
it's a very cool looking place though. Very futuristic.
Very
appearing.
futuristic. He's got his little AirPods in and he is dancing to Peaches, and it is cringy and it is tough to watch. And that is what makes me start to become borderline horrified, but also obsessed.
You know, I don't know if I'm the only one, but I get like legit creepy vibes from Bennett.
Yeah, I mean, same.
Like I'm actually like, I would be a little bit frightened to go on a date alone with him.
I'll be real with you.
I don't know if that's like too much to say about someone I don't know.
I'm sure that he's fine.
Well, okay. No, actually, I'm taking it from somewhere. The way he kept kissing Tayshia without consent.
That's true. I'm actually not a fan. But
Okay, backtracking, backpedaling.
I changed my mind. No, but you know what I'm saying? He scares me.
No, I know
But
what
I'm
you're
saying the
No,
content, is everything that I need in the way that like I need my major cringe city, and nobody's giving that to me right now.
You know, and also like, you know, there's a little bit of playful self-awareness that I can never tell is actually, if it's actually self-awareness.
That's the borderline.
For example, the one where he's saying he needs a new profile picture, and one of the options is this photo of him with the beagle, and it is so like,
if Bennett doesn't,
it's just ridiculous.
If Bennett doesn't run for Congress at some point in his life, I will be shook to the floor. Actually,
I'm really disappointed he didn't go with the one with the dog, but.
Well, so Bennett, though, he's providing this content for me. Every time I open my phone, I feel an ashamed level of giddiness awaiting his new reel or post or new comment. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It spikes my adrenaline a little bit. It
sparks joy.
It does spark joy and also terror. But
right.
you know, I'm a huge fan of horror movies. Yep. I love a horror movie. I love falling asleep to Saw. So what does that tell you? Yeah. Also, my most favorite Bennett moment, it's not the peaches this weekend. It was Kelly Flanagan. His trolling of her continues. Kelly Flanagan posted a beautiful photo of her like walking in a dress and her hair is flowing. And she posted this on Friday. And Bennett commented and he wrote, "Good Friday indeed."
Okay, so that does feel a little bit like a troll, right?
Yeah, because, and by the way, her caption didn't have anything to do with it being Good Friday or it being a holiday weekend. It was just a hot photo for it.
So
and the fact that he's a Good Friday indeed.
Like making like an innuendo about Jesus being crucified in reference to Kelly. So I'm kind of here for that. In a way, no, not that I don't take Good Friday seriously. I'm just saying, like, kind of that does seem like a troll moment.
It feels like a troll moment a little bit,
does.
right? And now I'm like, Kelly, is Bennett bothering you? Is he using you as a punchline for his jokes? Does he really like you, or is it like when I used to talk about? Is it like how I used to talk about Kenny? Because Kenny's a bit to me. Like I am fascinated by Kenny. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not in love with Kenny. But if I wasn't, I'll tell you this, if I was single on all of Kenny's photos, I would troll them in like a hey baby type way, because it'd be like, I have this bit going with myself that I find funny. And maybe he's seeing Bachelor Nation react like this. And so he's just like going over the top to get himself some Bachelor clout, because let's be real here. When you see how much work he puts into these like reels and stuff, this man takes his influencer position quite seriously.
He does, and that is where I have respect for him, because I'm like, at least you're not just posting dumb photos with your dog all the time.
He's putting an effort into some of these reels. They're scary as shit.
He literally, I do like clicking on where he says like video cred. There, he's like partnering with or like collabing with actual videographers to make these reels.
I mean, you see the way that the cinematography is quite stunning. The camera will swoosh behind him and get a great angle, a low angle, a close up, pulled back. Very dynamic filming. And so part of me is like, is Bennett trolling all of us? And does he really not like Kelly? And I was having these thoughts. And then,
I mean, that's pretty meta, and I would love that.
And then he was spotted out on a date in New York City with a certain Kit Keenan a few days ago.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
Dumois
Are you serious?
Spotted it. Which we were joking about them as a couple.
Not posting anything about.
Who he's not posting anything about. So, is he going to go on Paradise and roll in, and we're all thinking in this whole time maybe he's been talking to Kit?
Okay, wait, hold on. But like, I need to know about this from Kit's perspective. Like, Bennett slides in your DMs, like, would you like to go out for lunch? I'm sorry, I would say no.
Well, of course, but you're you.
That's true. I'm just what's going through her head?
But we've joked about Kit.
I mean, I know we have, but
like about how like the two of them would be hilarious, like New York society. But like maybe, but then
they seem more like evil brother and sister.
What if it's even more meta? What if they're planning a secret Paradise
fake romance,
or potential, hey, you and I, if we're not finding partners, we're sticking together. Like we're going to have each other's backs
to make a thing
on
so we get
this.
airtime.
Yes. And we're going to play like New York high society. Like she's going to roll in a Rolls Royce and he's going to roll in a Bentley, and then they're going to fight about their cars, and it's going to be like, should we get caviar and champagne on this disgusting beach?
Or exactly. Or they're not even saying stuff like that. It's just going to cut to scenes of it's like where it's going to be like French music, and they'll be like all posed, and he'll be feeding her oysters, you know, and she'll be like, ooh, did you just like harvest these or catch them, whatever? And he'd be like, just only for you. And people will be kind of obsessed with it.
Yes.
Honestly, that is a brilliant play if that's the direction they're going.
Yes.
Utmost respect for both of them.
If that's the direction that they're going, I will be like, props to both of you. You guys both want airtime. You know what's going to be good for you, and you know that the people won't hate.
And they're going to make comments like, where can we get a Swedish massage around here? Like that kind of thing.
You know, oh no, I can see it now. Oh my God, I can see it now.
Yes.
They roll up to the bar. No.
Okay.
Kit gets there first. And she's the first person on the beach. And she's like in a dress, even though you're like, you know, girlfriend. It's the beach. You don't need to be in a dress. She's in a full dress.
Yeah.
She goes up to the beach and she's about to order. And then Bennett comes in and she doesn't see him walk in, and he slides next to her and he goes, 2 dirty martinis, please. Extra dirty. And she turns around and she'll be like, how did you know that was my drink? And they're going to have one of those moments. They're going to try to make us fall in love with both of them.
And it'll be hard for me to resist if that's the route they're taking. I'm not going to lie.
If they craft something so magical, I will continue to have, I'll just have more extreme feelings of cringe, but also respect.
Well, do you want to talk more about the Bachelor couples in a minute and take a quick pause beforehand?
Yes, I would like to talk about that. I would also like to talk about, as we predict this future relationship, another relationship that we potentially predicted that I am...
Oh, yes.
I'll tell you this, Bekah.
Self-satisfied might be the word.
I feel very, very self-satisfied. In fact, I feel like self-satisfied is even too mild a word. Pure self-orgasmic.
Excellence? I don't know what you're trying to say.
I was going to say, like, exuding. I don't know. Whatever. We'll figure it out.
Orgasmic.
Adulation. That's the word.
Wow, I don't know that one.
I think adulation is like celebration.
I don't know. I like
Probably
that.
wrong. Probably wrong
I
about
like
that. But, you know,
I like that, the way that word sounds.
it's given me orgasmic adulation.
Okay.
What else has given me orgasmic adulation, frauds? I would like to take a moment to pause and tell you about one of my daily favorites. It is Native natural deodorant. Okay. Native crafts, in my humble opinion, the best natural deodorant on the market with products you've actually heard of, like coconut oil and shea butter and broads. It actually works like so well. I put it on once a day. I stay smelling fresh and not wet at all in the pits all day long because of Native.
There are a lot of natural options out there that, let's be honest, by the time it's 3 p.m. and you're midway through an exercise class, that natural deodorant is not holding up. But oh boy, Native is different. Native deodorant works better than my conventional deodorant ever did, and it doesn't contain any of the irritants or harsh chemicals that you often find in big name brands.
And the scent options, oh my lord. Native just recently launched a collaboration with Jungalow, and every single one is my favorite. I cannot choose. They've got new options like tangerine plus citrus blossom, sandalwood plus fig, and the one I have on right now that I'm loving is palm leaf and bergamot. I'm obsessed. It smells like an expensive perfume. It's like subtle but luxurious. I'm sniffing myself all day. I'm obsessed. And you can even subscribe to Native, so you'll never have to worry about running out of deodorant ever again. You know those moments when all of a sudden you have somewhere to go and you're like, oh shit, I don't have any deodorant, and you're trying to like splash water under your arms and panicking? No, not with Native. They show up to your door. If there's one thing you should always be stocked up with, it's probably deodorant, right?
Yeah. Make the switch to Native today by going to nativedeo.com/chatty or use promo code chatty at checkout and get $25 off your first order. That's nativedeo.com/chatty or use promo code chatty at checkout for 25% off your first order. That's a great discount.
Great discount. Broads, I am 100% that mom that takes pictures of every single thing my daughter does, like everything, and I want to be able to have those moments forever and those memories forever. And the problem has always been, though, I take all these pictures and I love them for about 3 minutes, and then they get buried in my photo albums on my phone, and I hardly ever look at them again. So maybe I'm off here, but I think the point of taking pictures is to actually look at those pictures. But FrameBridge is here to make sure you actually get to enjoy all of those beautiful pictures that you take.
Ugh, I'm so guilty of that also. I can't help it. But like you said, pictures are meant to be enjoyed, which is exactly what FrameBridge lets you do. Whether you want to frame one single photograph or create an entire gallery wall, FrameBridge does it all. That rhymed. All you have to do is go to framebridge.com and upload your photos, and then you can easily preview them in dozens of frame styles and gallery wall layouts. And the design team at FrameBridge will even offer their free design recommendations if you need some inspiration. Plus, they will also send you like packaging to your door so you can ship original art or posters or whatever straight to them, and they'll frame it and send it back to you. Like, that is just so convenient. I have done that so many times.
It's so ideal. You also are a FrameBridge queen. I feel like every time I go to your house, I see those tubes and I'm like, oh, she's getting some sick art, honey.
Something's either going out or coming in. Yep.
Exactly. And after you pick your frames, the experts at FrameBridge will custom frame your items and deliver them to your front door, ready to hang. And the whole thing will cost you a fraction of what you'd pay at a frame store, if you can even believe that. And honestly, framing is really expensive.
It's so expensive.
And FrameBridge has the cutest frames, like, again, a fraction of the cost. It's pretty wild. With these prices starting at just $39 and free shipping, it's never been easier or more affordable to frame your favorite memories.
Yeah, it's true. Actually, just recently I had big posters, and we went to a couple different frame places to get quotes. FrameBridge came at like $100 cheaper than those, which is pretty incredible.
They always knock it out.
And it's more convenient too. Mm-hmm. All right. Anyway, get started today. Frame your photos or send someone the perfect gift. Just go to framebridge.com and use promo code Chatty to save an additional 15% off your first order. Just go to framebridge.com, promo code Chatty. All right.
So, Bekah, I would like to pat us on the back. I would like to celebrate us. I would like to have a moment of a cheers. Broads, we're inserting a quick spoiler alert here because I just said it and then realized that it might be a spoiler. If you do not want a spoiler
if you don't want to
alert,
know anything about Katie's season,
if you want to know nothing about Katie's season, I'll put a little thing in the episode notes saying how long we're talking about this. But spoiler alert, this is involving a contestant on Katie's season.
Mm-hmm. Not like how far they go or anything, just the fact that they're there.
That they're there. Spoiler alert. Broads. Bekah and I, we knew in our bones.
I like to think, honestly, Jess, and I'm not trying to exaggerate here, I don't think that we predicted it. I think we made it happen.
I think we spoke it into being too.
I think that some people listen, and I think that they got some ideas.
I think someone listens and someone has messaged us, sweet boy, after listening and maybe got some ideas. And I think someone's mom also listens.
And maybe one of the producers listens.
Broads, we are talking about the fact that our obsession, Canada Blake, is taking himself to be on Katie's season. And we talked about this. We were like, oh my God, we were so sad that they weren't going to meet in paradise. Well, he has been spotted filming for Katie's season. And again, we don't know anything beyond that, and we're not looking. We don't want any spoilers of how far he goes. We don't want to know any of that. But
I kind of do want to know. I may look up. I want to see if he gets sent home right away.
Oh my God. If that happens, I will mourn.
I saw some people being like, what if this is a
Heather situation? There's definitely a potential that it could be, but I feel like, I don't know. I could just see the two of them working.
I want it to be so.
I want it to be so bad.
I want them to have sex.
Me too.
Like a creepy mom and dad we are. Like,
we're some fucking creeps. I want them to be so sexually attracted to them or to each other, and I want them to just be so obsessed, and then they just have this crazy chemistry together, and then they fall in love. The attraction leads to love. I hope that she says, I do not like your beard situation, and he shaves it off like a Noah moment, except it goes longer and farther. And I believe in it. I really do. And we've talked about Blake's mother and how she is like, has books about empowerment and that she is like a powerful woman and he admires his mother so much. And like Katie is very much that way and very vocal about that. So like I could see that working. I want it so badly.
Let it be so.
And like Blake sent us a message probably, I don't know how long ago, but he sent us a message and what a doll. He was just like, hey, both of you.
Wait, oh my God. If you message him back, like again, or if I message him back, I'll do that. We can see when it says seen.
Well, yeah.
So we can spoil it for ourselves when he gets back on Instagram.
Oh my gosh, that's so true.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Because he definitely hasn't seen it yet.
Because you already messaged him back and
I
he hasn't
sent him
seen
a
it?
message and he hasn't seen it.
Ooh, keep tabs on that. I'll be
T,
texting you every
T,
day.
T,
Like,
T.
has Blake read it yet? Has Blake read it yet?
Blake. Well, he messaged us and he let us know that, you know, a lot of his friends listen and he's listened and he's like, thank you for your, for your kind words. And I was like, you're welcome. Most of my words have been obsessing over the fact that you have the strangest answers to all of your Q&A and that you like to sell things and that you drive around with your owl. But yeah, he seems like a nice guy and he's very passionate about animals. He talked about a lot about animals in his DMs to us. So he really is passionate about it.
Not a farce. It's not a front.
I'll just tell you this much. When the man was, going back and forth in a couple DMs, which again, people do, you know, like every once in a while, like people, if we say nice things about them on the show, sometimes they'll slide into the DMs and say thank you. And it's always nice. It's very sweet. Again, never let it affect us. Blake, if you show up on Katie's season and you're acting like an idiot, you know that we're going to come for you.
We're going to treat you like
I love you, but it's just going to be how it is. But yeah. Every message back and forth between us has involved his love for animals.
That would get annoying to me.
But what if Katie loves animals?
Could see her being like that.
I don't think that she's alluded to that at all.
No.
But maybe that'll be a problem that they have. That they're
That's
have to work
like a
through.
cute quirk though to have where she's like, I
Yeah.
don't like animals. And he's like, I want like 15 pets in our house.
And he's like, just so you know, I have 27 animals in my home.
yeah.
Just so you know, when we drive and you're in the passenger seat,
I'm going to have Buddy the raccoon climbing all over you.
I typically drive with my owl in the front seat. And so it's going to have to perch on you. And you know, Snowy the owl likes to nuzzle. So you're going to have to get used to cuddling.
I had a nanny family in Newport Beach that was, their mom was a vet. And every once in a while they would have like one time they nursed a squirrel back to health, and then it was like their pet, and they would leave the window open and it would sleep in, like, so it could go in and out, and it would sleep inside like a little bed in a little cage they had, but they would like let it go back and forth freely.
Do you know what's so funny is that the old vet that I used to take my dogs to, I used to go to church with him back in the day. They had 2 pet squirrels that they had raised back to health, and they slept on the pillow in between them.
Bro, what is with these people and squirrels? That's fucking weird.
Are squirrels like, do they become what is it called?
Like life bonded?
Yeah, do they become obsessed with you like a crow?
But one time I got there before the kids got home from school, and the squirrel like jumped onto my back.
Oh no.
And
Was the squirrel trying to protect the family? You're like an intruder.
the shit out of
It's
me.
just like, yeah.
And it did that to the cleaning lady once too. And when I tell you poor woman was scared out of her goddamn mind.
Squirrels have like a sizable teeth on them too.
They also are just like, and it feels like a rat is jumping onto your back. Like imagine the feeling of the weight and the little claws grabbing onto your shirt. Like, oh, it gives me, I do not like that. I do not like that.
I love the idea of you nannying and there always being this squirrel there that like you don't really have a relationship with, but it's always kind of looking at you every once in a while. Like you're taking care of the kids and you'll look up, and the squirrel's just like looking at you and you're just like,
it looks
hello.
away. It looks away all quick whenever I look at it.
You make eye contact just like,
it's pretending to eat an acorn or something.
well, hello there.
Its name is, I think they named it Peanut or something.
It's pretty on the nose.
Pretty on the nose.
Might want to work on the creative a little bit.
Back to the drawing board with that one.
Well, Katie better get used to living with a squirrel. And I'm really Blake, we are sending you all of our blessings. I saw a lot of people who are very unhappy.
Why?
I don't know. A lot of people don't like Blake, and I'm like, we didn't like him at first. We didn't. We really hated him. We roasted him a lot. I was like, this guy's weird. We roasted him a lot at first, but
I think he's misunderstood.
I think he's misunderstood too. We could be wrong, but I think he's misunderstood.
I think so too.
And again, his social media presence. I'm sorry. I'm watching all of these other boys from recent seasons like living this influencer lifestyle on social media, you know, and like Bennett like trying so hard to become this influencer, and all that fucking Blake does is post about animals and his passion for them. And I'm like, this guy really loves what he does.
And I swear you and we can pick up on a vibe. We can. Yeah. We can.
I just hope that Blake doesn't like try too hard.
You know what I could see happening? I don't see that happening. What I envision, if anything's to go south, I envision I can just see it in my head. Like I see the visual of the scene where Katie's like, I just need you to like open up and be able to go there with me. And then I can see Blake being like, I'm trying, but I just can't, like, I can't just turn it on for you. Like I can see that. And like, I can see like, and I can see it being a situation where like some people are like team Katie and some people are team Blake. And it's like not an extremely black or white, clear cut. If they are to go further in their relationship and there to be like something that goes south,
I could totally see that for sure.
I could see it being like kind of like a you're not sure. Some people are like on his side. And I could
also see it lasting 1 week and him trying to impress her too much, like being maybe a little too shticky. Like, you know how he told. Like he was upset because he had read this book remember about Claire with Alzheimer's because of her mom, and he like talked about it. Like, what if he goes on to Katie's and he's just like, I read this whole book about sex positivity. Vibrator. Yeah, I bought that vibrator, and like I've really put in a lot of work learning about sex positivity. I personally use the vibrator, and I just want you to know I've put in a lot. And if she's a little bit like, you're coming on a little too strong here.
Yeah. Also, like, I could see her having like a couple glasses of wine and maybe being like, you're just not like respecting me or something. And him being like, what are you talking about?
I feel like I have this feeling in my gut that she reminds him of his mom. Oh. And so I could see him bringing up his mom a lot to her.
Kind of like Ben Z and his dog. Remember
that? The constant dog conversation. And so maybe he's not even going to talk a lot about his animals. Maybe he's going to be constantly bringing up his mom, because I think his mom, I could be fully wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure his mom like raised him. And he always is posting about his mom's book. And like when she posts a live, he always reposts his mom's stuff. And it's so cute. But he's going to come on and be very much like talking about his mom a lot.
You remind me so much of her. She's the kind of woman I'm looking for.
And it might be like either one, how am I supposed to compete with this type vibes? And that's just
too weird.
Too weird. Or too weird. I don't know.
Okay, speaking of former contestants, I just brought up Benzie. Yeah. Let's talk about who might be making an appearance on Paradise. Okay, so there's like an article with like an inside source saying that a lot of former contestants are like getting asked to come on, and apparently a lot of people are refusing.
That's what it says.
I don't know if I believe this article.
I will say I was feeling similar vibes to you. Okay. I feel two ways, because one, numerous of specifically the contestants of color have come out and said like they're not going to feel comfortable if Chris Harrison hosts. So there's that piece. But then that article, the sources it was a very vague, and sources were thrown around a lot, and there was a lot of very definitive statements that were made that there was like no.
Is Lauren Zima at it again?
What if oh my god,
like
Bekah.
Such a weird sunlight on my face. Look.
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
it's actually kind of romantic. What if Lauren Zima is trying to bury the Bachelor franchise? Because I will tell you this, the article did not make it look good for ABC.
You're right. Oh my god, it said like a lot of contestants don't like the direction that the franchise is heading. But I think that was like some of the exact wording.
What I was specifically I read it at first and I was so heated, Bekah, because the article also said that the production is not wanting anyone from Matt's season. And it made it sound like production is like, they're not even interested. It didn't even, the article didn't include that the contestants weren't comfortable with Chris Harrison. The article was just saying that ABC wasn't interested in any of Matt's players.
Oh my God, what if this actually is Lauren Zima? Like, that does not seem out of the question.
Or it's just Chris Harrison.
Or Chris Harrison
He's
himself.
just the source.
Totally.
He's just like calling up heavy.com.
Hi,
I think
I'm
it was
a
on. He's
close
just like
friend
he's
of
like
the franchise.
using a voice distortion thing. But it was a very like, and again, maybe it's totally true. And then fuck production if that's the case. But like that seems, I read it and I was like, this seems weird to me.
We also have to remember the planted articles that arose during Tayshia's season, where it was like, are we going to have 3 bachelorettes?
Very true.
And how they were releasing certain photos of like certain people showing up.
Bekah, the Lauren Zima thing, now I'm convinced that's what it was. I'm convinced it was Lauren Zima.
I'm sorry, it low-key makes sense. And it would help to sort of like build the case against the franchise that I believe Chris Harrison's new attorney. I mean, and maybe it is true, like you said. Who knows? Like maybe it's both. Maybe Lauren Zima is saying it and maybe it is true.
Maybe it's true. Oh my God. Again, like you said, this is going to go up in flames. But the article included
some names.
A couple names. So the article, and in a different article, by the way, I had seen like confirmed for Bachelor in Paradise. Again, I don't know. Is this a spoiler maybe?
I don't think anything's actually confirmed. Unless it's like maybe Reality Steve has some insider info.
I forget what article I read it on.
I really don't.
Well, if you don't want to know who's going to be on Paradise, potentially
skip ahead some 30 seconds.
Or we'll probably be talking about this for the rest of the episode, our theories. But
turn it off.
Turn it off, baby. But I've read that like confirmed for Paradise in a different article is Dr. Joe, Noah, Spencer, Chasen.
Okay, that all makes sense.
So that makes sense to me, which also I'm like, I'm dying at this. Like, if the other article is true and they're not interested in the production, are you feeling an earthquake right now?
No.
Okay. Your hand up is scaring me because there's been literally 500 earthquakes today.
I wasn't there this morning, but my group chat was blowing up and woke me up.
Yeah, there's been like literally 200 earthquakes today in Los Angeles and Long Beach.
Okay, the big one's coming.
I know.
Okay.
I hope you brought.
Do you have your kit yet?
Oh yeah, I got my kit.
I don't have anything. I keep saying I'm going to do a kit. Been saying that the past 2.5 years.
It's time to get your kit on.
Okay. No, what I was going to say before I forget it, I'm sorry for interrupting you, but I just had a theory.
Please. Give me your theories.
What if what we put into existence with Katie and Blake, what if they had already been DMing, like thinking that they were both going to be on Paradise? And so what if this is a Nick Viall and Caitlin Bristow situation where he's coming on late and they've been talking beforehand?
Oh my God, I hope so.
That seems real. Like it could be a possibility.
Yeah. And they have been flirting and talking and writing love letters to each other. I could definitely see that being the case.
Doesn't she seem like a bit of a rule follower though?
Yes and no.
Like I could see her being a rule follower in the way of like, I shouldn't be.
She's also though been pretty vocal about the franchise.
Right.
And
right. But I could still see her like following
like the technical rules of like don't
that's what I
canoodle beforehand.
Right. I don't know.
Maybe she really didn't think that she was going to be the Bachelorette. And so
she did say, I think she didn't have an inkling. Like she was like, that's news to me. Like I really think she had no idea.
Maybe they just started talking because she was like, I'm not going to be the Bachelorette. And so they just started flirting. There's no rules against flirting in the DMs.
No.
That's anyway, great theory.
Back to what you were saying.
Oh, no, I was just thinking like with the idea, by the way, of like Chasen and Spencer and those guys. And then that article, the heavy.com article saying that production isn't interested in girls from Matt's season. And also, this article definitely alluding to the fact that like they're not super concerned about making sure that this season is full of diversity.
Oh,
the fact that like Chasen and Spencer, it's laughable to me. Like the two, like the bras from San Diego,
and irrelevant too.
Yeah, exactly. Like they were like, I get that they're gonna have Chasen on because I would assume that maybe they'd have Ed on and they'd have like a showdown. But Spencer, and then they're throwing around some past contestants.
Yes. So the names that were in the article were Blake H,
who said a lot of shit about this franchise. So that was kind of surprising to me.
but it said that they're wanting. Yeah. Oh yeah. You're right. Blake H, Tia, and Bekah K, which I can see the two of them.
Can you imagine if we get cut out for a second. If we get a Paradise season that is like has like alum that's like famous alum, like ex-Bachelorette alum. If Blake goes back on, oh my God. Like it's gonna be
I could see Blake going back on.
I could see it too.
I could see Tia going back on. Maybe Bekah would go on because like, you know, Tia and her are close.
I have some theories right now. So after reading that article,
yeah,
and they said, and again, a previous article had talked about Noah, Ivan, Dr. Joe. I think Ivan, maybe not Ivan. No, but for sure, Dr. Joe, Noah, Spencer, and Chasen. And then this other article brought up Blake. All I could think about was this past week, Blake had a DJ set in Nashville, and Spencer, Chasen, Noah, Ivan, I believe Dr. Joe, maybe not. Dr. Joe was in New York, probably being a doctor. And Chris Randone went to Blake's DJ set.
Uh-huh.
Also there, Victoria Fuller,
uh-huh.
Kelsey.
Uh-huh.
This is Bachelor in Paradise.
Uh-huh.
They're all hanging out. And part of me thinks, is this intentional? Is the franchise kind of, because they know they're all in each other's DMs, do they want it to be
where
Blake
everyone knows
times
each other?
10? Yeah. Are they going to experiment with that in the season? So the fact that Blake is hanging out with Spencer, Chasen, Noah, and then I told you I had the theory about Chris Randone going on Bachelor in Paradise. So now Chris is there with Blake. The fact that Blake's hanging out with them.
Chris Randone was in the same room as who was
Tammy and Sarah. Oh, Sarah Coffin too. Who Sarah Coffin was kind of this. Remember, she got kicked off so early on Pete's season.
Yes.
And kind of was the sweetheart that everyone was like, we wanted to get to know more of her. And there were theories about her going on Bachelor in Paradise.
Who was she?
She was like, she's very cute,
very pretty little
very
one,
pretty,
right?
very tiny, very petite,
Yeah.
and sweet. Got kicked off right away. You and I were like, she got kicked off right away, and was donating her all of her dresses that she had on the show.
God, I don't remember this person. I gotta look her up. But anyway,
or not donating. Excuse me. She was literally putting them on because she didn't want to waste them. Putting them on IG and saying, "Whoever messages me first, I'll send you the dress."
Don't remember.
But they're hanging out.
Kaufman, you said?
Coffin
with a C.
Mm-hmm. Coffin, I believe.
Anyway.
Coffin. So they all hang out.
Don't recognize this
So
girl.
I think now after seeing that,
She has a lot of, she gets high engagement.
yeah, the people love her.
Interesting.
So
She's going to have a love story with someone.
oh yeah, big time.
Chris
And she
Randone.
hangs out with all the San Diego boys. So either there's been a hookup central going there, or they're all friends and she's going to connect maybe one of the New York boys or whatever.
Or all the San Diego boys are friends with her as far as she knows.
All
And they're
friends
all
with her.
waiting to pounce.
I wonder, I could see Blake having his eyes on her.
Of course.
Also, there was just a video on Kelsey's phone. She's with Victoria Fuller in the back of a Uber, and they're like singing together. And then she switches the camera over and shows Blake, and she films, and Blake's looking at some girl on Instagram, and he goes, "Oh shit, you guys!" And he flicks off of it and he laughs because they're filming him, and they post it. And I didn't recognize the girl, but it's a girl with dark hair That's all I could really tell. But he was scoping someone on Instagram and freaked out when they filmed him.
That is so funny.
Yeah. So, I mean, Victoria, come on. Blake, Victoria Fuller, Kelsey, all these kids. And then simultaneously, Bekah and Tia are hanging out for her birthday.
Yeah.
Natasha's with them. I bet they'll pull Natasha on from Pete's season. And she's also now is part of Clickbait, which is like
she's
Bachelor.
in Mexico with them too?
Yeah, she was in Mexico. And so she's on Clickbait. So they're going to have probably her on because she's Bachelor Nation podcast.
Got it.
And then in New York, at the same time, while there's all these Bachelor Nation people hanging out in Nashville and then Bekah's birthday in Mexico, all of the men, for the most part, all of the men from Claire/Tayshia season got together this weekend. And when I say all, I'm literally saying like 15 of them, including Dale Moss.
Oh my God.
Joined by a Peter Weber.
Because Pete can't say no to a good time with the boys.
As this is happening, the women from Matt's season are in New York. Piper goes to New York and is staying with Abigail, Chelsea, Kit, Ileana, who was, I guess, in one episode.
This makes me get serious FOMO that I was in a relationship and then pregnant.
I know. Can you believe? I wasn't on the show and I was like, does anybody want to hang out? Can we start an LA one? Because they're partying in San Diego and Nashville.
Meanwhile, Matt and Tyler are on vacation. Oh, I guess it's spring break. That's why everyone... I'm like, why is everyone doing this the past week? It's spring break.
They're doing their own thing, though, in Miami. But these New Yorkers...
Honestly, blessings.
It's blessings. But these New York... They're all of Tayshia's guys and then all of Matt's women are hanging out. So we have like bi-coastal situations going on with all of these people who I believe are going to be on Bachelor in Paradise. Like so many of them.
I'm already exhausted thinking about it.
Of all the connections that are going to happen. And if they bring in like OG players, wow.
And Crystal's glitter baby was born.
And Crystal's glitter baby was born. Congratulations. That's probably why Chris went. He was needing a distraction.
Because it felt like a death.
Correct. But congratulations to Crystal.
Yeah. She's a really pretty baby.
She was a beautiful, glowing mama.
Yeah.
But
anywho,
yeah, it's gonna be hectic. It's gonna be wild. And I simultaneously dread it and I'm also super hyped for it. Just
I'm
because
interested to see who is into who. Like, that's always fun.
And also, by the way, Blake H went on a live, or no, excuse me, he was answering like a bunch of questions, and people were like, "Are people hooking up from the recent seasons of Bachelor Nation?" And he answered the question and was cracking up, and he goes, "Oh my God!" He's like, "You think our season of Bachelor in Paradise was bad?" He's like, "Everybody's having sex."
The man cannot help but spill the tea.
I love Blake spilling the tea. And in fact, I didn't realize how much we need him on this season of Bachelor in Paradise to kind of be like the Godfather who tells us all the tales of behind the scenes.
And also can be like the wise sage where they come to him and they're like, Blake, I feel like I'm losing my shit. And he's like,
oh, young one. I believe deeply that he will not find someone to be with. And maybe he'll be the bartender. Maybe he'll replace Wells.
Wells is old news.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe he'll replace Wells.
Wells is irrelevant. We don't need him as a bartender anymore. I know a lot of people are going to get mad about that, but I'm like over it. I don't think he has much to offer anymore. They didn't show him at all in the last season. They didn't show one single moment with him.
You know me, I love Wells, but I do agree with you that I think it's time for a fresh face.
For someone new.
And I think Blake would be a really good bartender.
Oh, we would get some good scenes. He would be getting people liquored up and they would be spilling it and he would be therapizing.
I wouldn't be surprised if they brought in a Demi either to be a bartender.
Oh, yeah.
Demi would be a great bartender.
I don't think Blake, clearly with him scrolling the gram, I don't think he can help but not be on the market.
Maybe he'll show up as the bartender, and after one episode, he'll talk to Chris, and he'll be like, "Listen,
can we call in Wells?
Can we call in Wells?" Or be like, "My girl Demi's gonna show up," and then Demi will cruise in.
I actually don't know if Wells would say yes again because I know that Sarah Hyland was like, I remember her tweeting like, "He left me for like a month, and he didn't get any airtime. Like, this is bullshit.
Oh yeah, don't upset her. That's Hollywood royalty right there. Come on, that's a real A-lister. That's a real A-lister right there. She's got that modern family money. Family money is real intense.
Oh man.
But I think that's maybe what's going to happen. I have a lot of theories about this, and I am very excited, and I do think that there's going to be numerous OG players that are thrown into the mix, and I really do think Peter's going to come.
Wow.
I don't think he can say no, like you said. And like, why wouldn't they want him back? Because as much as everyone's going to be like, fuck this, everyone's going to tune in. Becca, I was looking at the ratings. Peter's season was insane. The ratings were like crazy during Peter's season and the viewership, and everyone was hating on it, but everyone wanted to tune in because it was such a nightmare.
The ratings were crazy.
They were crazy
like,
during Pete's season.
I was talking about that with a friend yesterday. Like, the fact that Maddie got 1.8 million followers from that.
Wild.
And like the most followers is, I think, Rachel, who has 500 and something from that season.
It's wild that the rating, like the difference in ratings compared to Colton and Matt's, like I feel like, especially I think the finale, the last like 2 or 3 episodes were exponentially higher on Pete's season. And again, as everyone was complaining and we were all like, we hate this, but everyone wanted to keep watching.
I mean, it was exponentially better than Matt's season.
It was very wild.
The drama was so much better. Like,
you were more invested into the drama. And
and you knew the women, as we've said a bazillion times, you knew the women better.
You knew the women better. And honestly, like Pete, he, like you said, he will not be able to say no to a good time. And if they offer that to him, maybe.
What if he's just like a mess like the whole time? What if he's just like a drunken mess? He's like embarrassing himself.
I can
like,
only ask for that, honestly. What if Barb and Peter Sr. are the bartenders?
Here's my question. Do you think they will have Rachel on Paradise?
No. I don't think that they would.
There's plenty of other people to have on, and
I think it would be. And I will say, if they do offer it to her, I hope for her that she turns it down,
honestly,
and uses this time to like continue like her growth and not. I think also to. I mean, let's be real. If she does take it, I think it will make a lot of people question her sincerity in wanting to grow and be like, oh, you said you were in love with Matt and you were trying, and now you're. I think it'd just be a nightmare. But I do think if she goes on, that there will be a list or a line of men out the door trying to date her. But the guys will probably be nervous about it because of the backlash from. Well, I think actually a lot of people were like very pro Rachel.
Right.
Probably like the majority of people were very like pro her, and like
when
she was saying like please stop justifying my actions and like whatever, and she was having to like tell people like please don't do this, like what I did was wrong and what I participated in.
Well, I know a lot of girls
wrong.
from the season were friends with her too.
Mm-hmm. But I think there'd be a line of guys. And when I say a line, I'm specifically in my brain, I'm picturing Chasen, Spencer, and Chris Randone just in a 3-line. Maybe Noah. Add Noah to that. Just being like,
add Bennett,
please.
Maybe too.
I don't picture Bennett with I picture Bennett with a New Yorker, I think.
He's not into the Southern Belle type.
I think he's a city boy. He wants either Chicago
God.
or New York. Or what his preference would be London. Or Paris.
The London look.
Yeah. He would want someone from the city, a European from
someone
the
he
city.
can wear like a good old trench coat with or some shit. I don't know.
A woman who
can wear a scarf with him.
Who loves to wear a scarf, maybe enjoys an occasional cheeky cigarette.
While reading Keats.
All right.
Anyway.
Anywho, broads, please tune in Thursday.
By the way, Thursday's episode is going to be a banger, y'all.
Yes. Thursday's episode is with a friend of yours, and you will fall in love with her. It's fantastic.
She's talking about her personal experience being a interracial adoptee, being Asian, being a survivor of sexual assault, and just getting like, she just gets so like honest and vulnerable about her experience and her journey into unpacking her internalized racism. And
She was like so unbelievably gracious to share her, specifically a lot of the survivor pieces and the internalized racism and
her just her journey.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's a great episode.
Also, I know I had said on the Chatty Broads Instagram earlier that we were going to have
Special guest.
an awesome guest, which is on Thursday, your friend Kaylee that we're talking about. And then I said that we were going to have a controversial guest this week. Don't worry, we're still having this controversial guest on.
We're recording. It's just going to release.
We're recording. It's just getting released on Tuesday, I believe, of next week. So don't worry, it's coming. Very excited for
and
that
it is
conversation.
Donald J. Trump.
Can you imagine?
What do they call him? 65? What do they call
45.
him? 45?
Broad. What do they call them? 78? 87? I forget how old he is. Can you imagine? Holy shit.
Okay, anyway.
Oh my God.
No, it's not Donald Trump.
It's not
Donald Trump. It is
Chris Harrison.
Okay, it's not Donald Trump. It's actually Prince William and Kate.
Oh my God, can you? You're
okay, I'm done now.
I was going to say, our guest is going to be really missed.
We're going to have a guest next week. It's going to be great. Tune in to Thursday's episode and chat soon, broads.
Chat soon, broads.